Nation, we are so back. This is Diamond Niners Weekly, and it is time for the start of the 2025 Charlotte 49ers baseball season. Let's go, baby. This is Nick, joined, as always, by Kevin.
What's up, Niner Nation?
And producer Brad, always making that stuff go behind the scenes.
Hey.
All right, boys. This is Season 1, Episode 8. First of all, can you believe that we haven't gotten fired by now?
It's been close.
Yeah, we had some disagreements with management, but they kept us on for 8 seasons. 8 seasons.
Yeah. Complications arose and ensued and were subsequently overcome. But we're back. Man, Season 8, 2025. I am so freaking pumped for this baseball season. We get pumped every time this time of year. You know, this is us, man. This is what we're here for.
Yeah. We're 3 days away, and you can feel it. You can feel the baseball weather's here. February, baseball weather is here. We got teased this weekend by 78 degrees.
Yeah, we had regional weather this last weekend, and now that it's time to actually play some baseball, February has announced its presence with authority.
That's right.
Well, it's fall ball, right?
I don't know. The fall was pretty nice this year. This is all kinds of messed up. But hey, when we get Coach Woody in here, maybe we'll talk to him about weather plans. Maybe he'll tip his hand. So we got a pretty cool show for you guys tonight. We're going to do things in a little bit of reverse order. We're actually going to talk. Woody's going to be in here. We're going to talk about just the program in general and kind of get you ready for Northeastern this weekend. But we're actually going to start off here in a few minutes. We're going to start talking about Wofford, which is the first midweek contest next week, because we've got a special guest jumping in here in the form of Patrick Wheeler. People around the program are no stranger to Patrick, because Wheels played baseball here, wore the 9 across the chest, and then worked in the athletic department with the Athletic Foundation. He is actually now working down at Wofford. So we thought that'd be a great opportunity to bring him in and let him do our Wofford scouting report. He can tell us what's up down there for that game coming up next week. So we've got a pretty good show for you here. Excited to bring it to you and excited to be back getting going. So, guys, I want to start off. I think my favorite part about this time of year, besides just the fact that we're actually going to get to play, is we finally, as soon as that first pitch is thrown, we finally get to do away with preseason polls, preseason lists, all of that stuff. Because, I mean, when they first start trickling out, Kevin, it's kind of fun. Coaches poll and then D1 and then all these other places, all these other outlets. But by now, I don't know about you. I'm just freaking sick of looking at them.
Yeah, it's always exciting because you know that baseball's coming. You see those come out and that signals that season is right around the corner. But, as time has gone, as the landscape of college sports and college baseball has changed, with rosters changing dramatically from year to year, those prognostications are just guesses, even more so now than in the past.
Yeah, they always were.
Yeah, you never know you used to be able to say, hey, we got 75% of our roster coming back. We got this much of offense coming back. We got 2 weekend guys coming back in the rotation. We're going to have a strong season. But now rosters change so much year to year that nobody knows what you got. Especially another coach in your league that's not really watching your program closely. They vote on these things, on these polls, especially the coaches' polls, obviously. But So it's good to read. It's fun to talk about, but they really don't mean much. I do like to read D1. They kind of did it a little bit different. They had a couple different tiers in their assessment of the AAC. We can jump in. Do you want to jump into that? We could jump into that.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm totally on board with what you're saying. My take on this is I don't even think at this point that people are Yeah, D1 goes out and sees these teams, and they do deep dives. We always appreciate them. But for the most part, people are no longer voting on actual rosters. They're voting on their faith in the coaching staff. And that's why you see in the AAC right now, and rightfully so, East Carolina, Cliff Godwin, they're getting all the benefit of the doubt here this time of year. And why shouldn't they, right? They're number one until somebody changes that. But they got 31 new players. I mean, we got 28 new players. They got 31 new players. Pretty much everybody in the league kind of looks like that. How do you look at all those changed rosters and to say, here's who I think is going to win? Well, you kind of just go with what you know. Which coaching staff do you trust? And I mean, honestly, I think that plays to our advantage some too, because I think that this staff, Woody and the boys, have developed a reputation in the league, and you see us tend to be voted towards the higher end of those preseason type polls. But what do they really know about how our roster is going to perform, or any other roster in the AAC? That's why we're going to play the games on Friday. Thank God.
That's right. Yeah, that all means nothing come Friday, but I think like D1s give us a good barometer of kind of what to expect. They say ECU is a regional team. They break it down into regional teams, and then the next tier is teams to watch, which has Charlotte, Tulane, Wichita State, and UTSA in it. And I think, that group of five schools should be in the mix to win the conference, and hopefully 2 or 3 of those teams putting up a resume for at-large bids. That's what I'm hoping for the season. I'm hoping 2 or 3 at-large bids from the conference, boost the conference up a little bit. Hopefully some of the lower tier in the conference bump their game up a little bit, so we won't have an RPI anchor for the upper teams. But I think that's a good way to look at it as teams to watch. I think those 5 teams will be in the mix, and I'm glad we're included in those.
Yeah, I think this is a horse race. I mean, it's going to be a brawl for conference supremacy this year. I don't really know that there is a clear favorite at this moment. We might all feel differently in 3 weeks, 4 weeks, but right now, I think it's just wide open. And that's fun. That's cool. That's what I love about this time of year. Now, I will say, and we had a chance to talk about this a little bit this morning, but D1 did a podcast. D1, they do a lot of podcasts, a lot more podcasting than we do. They're about to go to 2 times a week. But they were doing their stock report game yesterday on Monday's show. And the goal is to pick a team. They take turns, like draft format, and you pick a team, and your result is net year over year gain or loss. So you're trying to pick a team that's going to go, that's going to improve their win margin. And the more they improve their win margin, the more points that scores for you. Of course, if they get worse, that takes away. And Kendall Rogers, hater of teams, because he hates everybody's team. I didn't reply to that and say, but you still hate us though, right? Kendall Rogers picked Woody and the Niners as one of his stocks, his rising stocks to improve over win total for last year. And the moment he did it, Aaron Fitt got upset. He said, "Oh man, you took my pick." So the Niners were about to come off the board. It was just a matter of whether Fitzy got us or Kendall jumped him in the draft and grabbed the Niners. So it's pretty cool to see us getting involved and getting mentioned in national discussion like that.
Yeah, and Aaron Fitt had to settle for Memphis. He picked Memphis to be a high riser.
Yeah, that sorry Fitzy, that feels like a downgrade. Being stuck with Memphis, but hey, maybe should have acted around quicker, right?
You gotta buy low and sell high, right?
You gotta buy low and sell high.
That's the point of that game.
That's the point of that game.
Yeah, it's largely I feel like we talk about the preseason prognostications. Largely, the Niners have been ignored with most of the preseason stuff. It's good to see some love late in the game here, but we are take it for what it's worth. All of it.
I don't mind it. I don't mind coming from off the radar. And you know, I don't think Woody does either. You know, if too many people are talking about you preseason, then maybe that's I don't know. I think it fits us to kind of be off the radar and emerge onto the radar mid-season or so. That'd work for me.
Yeah, late season. Yeah, perfect.
Yeah. So, well, I see in the green room here, Kevin, we've got our guests. You wanna jump right in here? Look here. I don't want to mess up your title wheels, but executive director of the Athletic Foundation at Wofford, yes.
The director of the Terrier Club here. Just kind of getting settled in. I've just learned my own title, so I haven't been here long enough to really know it yet either.
So, Niner baseball alum, Charlotte Athletics employee, turned director of the Wofford Terrier Club. Everybody welcome in Patrick Wheeler. Gold standard Patrick Wheeler.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Excited to be here. Appreciate you guys having me on.
Looks like he's got the Niner gold on already.
That's what that is. That's Niner gold.
Right.
I keep representing a little bit.
Yeah. So, man, we're gonna talk a little baseball, of course, because it's why you're here. But why don't you just do life update for everybody? Because I mean, we've talked about you on this show. I don't think you've ever actually been on here, but you've been a topic of conversation. So everybody that's been around the program certainly knows who you are. Why don't you just do life update for us?
Yeah, I've been an active listener, so I've heard quite a few of these episodes myself. But played at Charlotte and finished that COVID year up when everything kind of got shut down was my last year, and then started working in the athletic department there at Charlotte for a good little while, and then came to Wofford in October to be the director of their Terrier Club here. I love Charlotte. It's an awesome place. I was back this weekend to see Coach Lutz go into the rafters, which was awesome, and stop by baseball. So I'm in Charlotte as it gets. I married a women's soccer player last October as well. So I'm in Charlotte as it gets, and it's a place that I still kind of consider home.
Yeah, and you have the unique distinction. You played under Coach Hibbs, and then you played under Coach Woodard's first season. And then you were part of that 2020 senior class that had the season cut short, unfortunately. Talk a little bit about your time as a Niner, your 2019 season. I know we've got some good memories of it. And then your 2020 season where your last game was a good one for you.
Yeah. So, got recruited out of Pitt Community College there in Greenville, North Carolina, in that city that, there's nothing else good to do in that city, but there's Pitt Community College there. Went there and yeah, I went there and got recruited by Coach Bo Robinson and Coach Hibbs to come play after that, and was really excited about it and loved it. We had a little pipeline from Pitt there for a while to Charlotte. So went and played and had a fun year. That 2019 year had the injury bug a little bit, but then came back in 2020 when Coach Woodard started and really loved it. He's done a really good job with the program, and we were about 17 games in, but we beat NC State, a top 10 team, to kind of finish it right before COVID shut us all down, and that was a pretty good memory. I grew up a Raleigh guy, so beating NC State there at their place to finish my college career was a good send off for me. So that's how you go out on top.
I think you're selling yourself a little short. You had a big RBI in that game as well, in front of your home area folks.
Yeah, that was a good way to finish it, and that was a fun night beating those guys. That was one of the best memories I had. That bus ride home was quite intense. It was a fun one, and that's how you go out on top for sure. And we did a really good job kind of setting the stage for that next season when that team really went on a roll and made the NCAA tournament, and that kind of catapulted them. So that was definitely a fun one.
So, I remember when we first heard that you were hired on. I think you did your master's work at Florida. Am I getting that right?
Yep.
So you had graduated and you were taking a job in the athletic department, working with the foundation. And nothing on anybody else. But when we found out that we were getting a baseball guy that was going to be working on the Grand Slam Club and baseball projects like the First Pitch Dinner and things like that, we were so excited because the baseball community is kind of unique, and you either get that or you don't, and obviously you do because you grew up in it and you're just an integral part of it. So having you around, how many years were you with us, Wheels?
So 2020. So for those 3.5, 4 years right there. Yeah, that's probably what it was.
And it was fantastic. And I will always remember this. We were standing in the tailgate lot during football season, and you came up and said, "I got to tell you something." And I was like, "Okay." I'm thinking like, what can this be? And you're like, "I'm leaving." And then you told me what you're doing. And at first it was like, man, so proud of you. So happy for you. This is a step up. This is exactly the right thing. And then about 30 seconds into that thought process, I went, oh, crap. That means we're losing Wheels. It's like initial, just like really happy for you. Then like, oh, crap. Now, so walk us through this process. And we're so happy for you. Walk us through this process of how you wind up getting from Charlotte to Wofford.
Yeah, well, I started in the foundation. I knew it was something I wanted to do, was to get into athletics fundraising when I finished, because it's a way for me to pay it forward. I had the opportunity to come to Charlotte because someone endowed a scholarship and gave me the opportunity to play. So, it gives me a chance to pay it forward and to see these current student athletes at whatever school I've been at to get a chance to compete at the next highest level for them. So that's why I love it and got into it. And there's such a great staff there at Charlotte. Kelly Weatherman, Mike Hummer, Dan DeVos, all of them that have been there for an extended amount of time. They've been fantastic and were great to me. So yeah, I worked there. I interned and then started full time there and worked there. And during my time, Scott Cole was our executive director over the athletic foundation there for us, and he got the athletic director job here at Wofford not long into his tenure at Charlotte, actually. So he got down here and worked for a little while, and then they had an opening here with their director of the Terrier Club, and he gave me a call and asked if I was interested. And, it was really hard to do. I came down here. It was the first time I'd ever been to Spartanburg when I came down to interview. And it's a great area. It's not far from Charlotte, which is a huge bonus. And it just kind of gave me the opportunity to grow in this profession and keep, paying it forward, like I was talking about with these student athletes. They're great student athletes everywhere, but, helping these people compete at their sport on the highest level they can is something that I find incredibly rewarding. It's that old saying where, if you enjoy what you do, you don't work a day in your life. Well, I don't know if I'll ever work because I've enjoyed what I've done for my entire work career so far. So it's been great.
So what's it like? Are you getting used to it down there? Are you finding your way around? You still get lost on campus, or what's going on?
Well, luckily I got us I got an apartment for myself down here within walking distance to campus. I got a little 1-bedroom apartment down here because it was just me, and then the wife moved in, and that 1-bedroom apartment was apparently way too small. So we're actively going to be looking to get out of there. I got
funny the way that works.
Yeah, I got a good scolding on that one. So no, it's I'm really close to campus, enjoying it. I had really for the first couple of months I was kind of driving back and forth and packing up and moving stuff. So I was kind of going back and forth for a while, but now that we've kind of settled in here, we got to explore the area. It's a great area. Greenville's not far. Charlotte, I can be back in an hour. So it's a really, really good area. I love it so far. It's campus is definitely smaller than what it was at Charlotte, but it's a really beautiful campus, and they do a great job here. So I've enjoyed it, but it's a great location for me too, because I can always get back home a little bit.
The only time I've been to Spartanburg, to Wofford's campus, was for Panthers training camp, and every time I went down there, it was 1,000 degrees. it's not 1,000 degrees every day down there, is it?
No, I can tell you today, it's not been the prettiest weather for sure here today. But no, the Panthers and Jerry Richardson had such a huge impact here on all of campus here. And I know, obviously he's done quite a bit there in Charlotte, but they certainly missed the Panthers here, but they've done a lot for this area. And I know, that was a lot of memories for a lot of people. They talk about coming to see those Panthers practice here. And, they left this place in a really good spot for us.
So you feel like talking a little Charlotte Wofford?
Yeah, let's do it. It's exciting. I was first midweek game, and you guys are coming down here to see us.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna try to make that because 5:30. At first, I thought it was 4 o'clock for whatever reason. I had it in my mind it was 4 o'clock, and I realized it was 5:30. I'm like, well, maybe we make that happen. But Niners played Wofford last season, but the Terriers had a great year, won the league, wound up in the Chapel Hill Regional, and put on a strong showing there, and that was Coach Edwards' first year. So now going into year 2, what do you think, Wheels? What should the Niners be looking for here?
Yeah, Coach Edwards is an awesome person. He was the first coach I met down here. Shocking that I met the baseball coach first, but
wow.
Yeah, he's a ball of energy. Yes, he's a good one. He talked about how great of a program Charlotte had when we first met, and excited for them to come down here. And they had a great finish last year. Went on a great run in the conference tournament, and then had a really good showing in that Chapel Hill regional with LSU and Chapel Hill in that regional. So he bought back a ton of that, an older group coming back. Got a good chunk of them that were on the preseason all conference team, which is great, and got picked third in the league. But I know those preseason polls don't mean anything; they're just bulletin board material. So he has a great schedule again, and it's a great area. He's done a really good job recruiting, and they've got a great team. Really excited to see them get after it, but it'll be a fun one. It'll be like watching your, two teams that you love so much play each other. It'll be great.
So give us a little facility preview, Pat.
Yeah, so Field's on campus here. It's in a great little area. We got our soccer stadium and softball, which is in their second year. They just built a new stadium for them. So they're all right here together. And we've done some really good improvements to baseball, and hopefully we'll get some conference championship and NCAA tournament banners hung before them. But really good field. I've been told that it plays as a pitcher's park when it's cold, and the second it warms up, balls will start flying out of there. So hopefully maybe it'll warm up a little bit and we can see some balls fly out of here. But really cool natural surface field, which is a little different than what Charlotte is now, but. Our grounds guy and facilities guy, Andy Kaya, takes care of this place, and it's always looking immaculate. So the field will be ready to go. I know we're getting some rain this week, but it'll be ready to go, and it'll be fun.
So we touched on this a little bit the other day when I saw you, but the Spartanburg's getting minor league baseball. The Down East Wood Ducks have relocated or are relocating from Kinston. And they're going to become the Spartan Burgers. Is that right?
Yep. Yeah, the Hub City Spartan Burgers.
Hub City Spartan Burgers. And so that's a brand new park that they're building in downtown. So I imagine that you guys will be looking to leverage that at some point.
Yeah, we're actually going to play the first game in the stadium, kind of like Charlotte did with Kannapolis. We'll be the first game in there. We're playing upstate, so another Spartanburg city school here. So we're playing them right at the beginning of April. It'd be great. They're getting down here, and it's a great stadium. Kind of reminds me a little bit of how Kannapolis was. It's a brand new stadium. It's going to look really good. Actually, the guy who was in my role is actually an assistant GM for them, so that's why he kind of left. So he's still staying local, but really, really good ties. They're doing it's right in the center of downtown, so it's going to be an awesome little ballpark. I'm excited. Minor league baseball is always great. I know you guys, are keeping up with minor league baseball, and it's so cool for the community. They're all getting behind it. You'll see Spartanburgers hats and things like that all throughout the town, so it's pretty cool.
I think that's still a Rangers affiliate.
Yeah. Down East was with the Rangers, so I'm assuming they'll stay with them. So yeah, we may have some Kannapolis, some games against Kannapolis this year, hopefully.
Hopefully we'll get down there and see some pro Niners.
There you go. There you go. That'd be great.
Yeah, so that for people, I mapped this. The game is 5:30 next Tuesday. I mapped this, and it's from the Kannapolis area where we're at up here. It's about an hour and a half. So not too bad. You can get down to Spartanburg and see the Niners play on Tuesday night. Hopefully the weather cooperates. Haven't really looked that far. I've been looking at the weekend's weather. I don't want to talk about it right now. But hopefully Yeah, hopefully everything is sunny in Spartanburg on Tuesday, so we can play some baseball down there. But Wheels, man, I know I said this before, but we're happy for you. We're proud of you. Yeah, we know you're going to do great things, and know we're going to cross paths with you again at some point, bud.
Yeah, well, I mean, you guys know this, but what you guys do for both baseball and softball and all of athletics is awesome, and you're so appreciative. You guys have done a ton for the baseball program. I know softball as well. It's really helped get the brand out there, and the players love it. I know my family was huge into it when I first got there, and they still are tuned into you guys. So I love everything you guys are doing, and I appreciate it more than you guys know.
Man, we appreciate you.
Yeah, we appreciate you, man. You did a lot for the program as well, man, and that's why you got that gold standard locker, man.
Yeah, well, at least I got a viral moment going into at Old Dominion. We won't forget that one. So
yeah,
that's good.
So we host Old Dominion right after Wofford, so after we play at Wofford. So you're welcome to come.
I got some bad memories.
The only person
lack of memory.
Yeah, the only person that doesn't remember that is you.
Yes, the lack of memories. So no, but it's good times. But yeah, I appreciate you guys.
Hey, before we let you go, I see in green room here, Coach Woody. You want to let's get Coach Woody in here to say what's up. What's up,
Coach?
Woody?
What's up, guys? How we doing?
Man, we're just being gold standard in here, hanging out with Patrick Wheeler.
I can tell. I've enjoyed listening to the show so far. Wheels, good to see you. Excited to see you on Tuesday.
Yeah, I'll be ready for you. They're trying to get me to throw out the first pitch, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it.
Oh,
you got to. You got to.
Why would you not?
I don't know. The wing hadn't been warmed up since NC State in 2020, so we'll have to see.
I'm going to tell you, I think you should do it for two reasons. One, because it's a great honor. And two, because every time Kevin and I have thrown out the first pitch, it's not gone well. So, if you throw the first pitch out on behalf of Wofford, I mean, that's like positive mojo going the Niners' way. So
there you go.
It kind of feels like you need to do it, Wheels.
I'll see what I can do. So,
okay, buddy. We appreciate your time tonight. I know you got to get back to that apartment and see if what you can do there to maybe expand the place. But we appreciate your time, and we're looking forward to seeing you on Tuesday.
Yeah. Thank you, guys. See you Tuesday.
See you, Wheels.
See you, Coach.
See you, Wheels.
Man, what's going on, Coach Woody?
What's up, guys?
Man, we're over here discussing strategies of how to sleep at night because it's getting so close. It's like we're at the point where this is bigger than Christmas for us, Coach.
Yeah, I know what you mean, man. We're a couple days out, and the Super Bowl is over, so that means that it's baseball season. That's kind of the universal holiday for baseball season being here. And not too much has happened since the last time we podcasted. Nothing to catch up on.
No, I don't think it's that simple. I don't think you get off the hook like that. We're going to talk baseball, but I think for everybody that watches this show, we probably need to, we started with Patrick doing a life update. I kind of feel like we need to start in the same place with you.
Yeah, no. So just, see, got to start with Ash and I getting married in November.
That's a very excellent place to start.
Which was, wedding of a lifetime. And, we just had so many friends and family in the room and just special and so many special moments, not only that day, but it was also Thanksgiving week. So just, the whole week was really just family time and build up and memories. And so now we've got the photos and the videos that have kind of come back. So that's been a lot of fun, just going through those and reminiscing. And then a few days later, we got to jump on a plane and go to Italy for the first time. I'd never been to Europe before, not much baseball going on over there. So we went over there and spent about 16 days just kind of touring various parts of Italy. And it was incredible. Just getting that time together and just seeing a whole different part of the world and experience and just really incredible. And then got to building up to that, I kind of got to run my first marathon. So that was neat. Quite the experience. I never really thought I would run a marathon, but just kind of one thing led to another and got it done. So yeah, a lot going on. Ash headed to Columbia and starting her season 5-0. So life is great.
Just a few things.
And you had Nick live tweeting the marathon at a tailgate, so that was keeping us entertained while we were tailgating for football. But
I imagine that live tweeting slowed down around mile 20, 21.
In all fairness, I mean, we thought we were actually thinking about live tweeting the wedding, but we thought that might have been a little too much, so we didn't do that. But with the marathon, in full disclosure, when you started that training, which you did on your own, I gotta say, I've done that training, and to do it on your own solo takes a lot of discipline and a lot of determination, because that's usually done in a group for accountability purposes.
Well, I appreciate you saying that. I did have two of my best high school friends, Mark and Trevor. They joined me. We had a group chat, kind of like an accountability. We finished a training run. We sent it into each other. We talk about how much it sucks and how much we want to quit and that sort of thing. But then, I mean, it was incredible. I mean, it was, like I said, I really never thought I would do it. And the feeling you get at the finish line of just that accomplishment was pretty cool. And it was here in Charlotte, so you just get to see awesome parts of the city. And once you get into Plaza, Midwood, and Noda, it's like just a huge party, and everybody gets to see you struggling. So, yeah.
Kevin, do you remember it was like some of the opening scenes of Rocky II, and Apollo Creed is wanting to get back in the ring with Rocky, and his advisor says, baby, that is all. We do not need that man in our life. That is all wrong for us. That's exactly what I told Woody. When he said, I think I'm going to do a marathon, I said, Woody, you don't need that in your life. You're getting married. It's fall ball. You don't need that in your life. And he did it anyway. I halfway think he texted me so that I would tell him that he's crazy for doing it so that he could do it anyway.
Man, as you get older, you got to take on challenges. You got to keep doing stuff.
So would you recommend doing a marathon, Coach?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'll tell you, it was, we need to get into our team and the season and that sort of thing. But I tell everybody, like, I was actually kind of blown away with like mile 15, 20, 25. Like, I couldn't help but notice like the group of people, we all kind of stayed around. There was like 30 or 40 people that were kind of like leapfrogging each other. And it was just like the range of like high school people to like, there's people that looked like they kind of had no business running a marathon, like getting it done, and they were crushing it. And I don't know, like it was just really neat to see the wide range, like older people, younger people. It was just a really cool experience. Definitely got to train for it. It was, mile 20 and Mike Hill, he's run a few in his over the years, and he gave me some advice, and he was spot on with, there's really nothing you can do from mile 21 to 26, no matter how perfect your training is. Like, it's just an absolute grind. So, but it was cool. And led kind of got me in shape for the wedding and, that sort of thing. So it kind of lined up okay, I guess. But yeah, now it's baseball season. Got an awesome group of guys and another uniform rolling in here on Friday.
So, Woody, I do agree with you. As you get older, you need challenges. I'm actively trying to break 85 on the golf course. That'll keep me busy for at least the next 20, 25 years, I think. So I'm agreeing with you there. I'm just not going to run a marathon. But I do want to, before we transition, I think there's one thing you ought to explain to everybody, because there is going to be one noticeable facet of your off season that shows up on the field this year. I think you ought to explain that to folks.
Oh, so like my jersey number?
There you go.
I mean,
when's the last time you were not number 20?
I don't know, probably, I think actually, I don't know, probably in pro ball, probably 2009, 2008. So 15 years ago. They don't really care about your numbers there. It's just, you get whatever there. And, truthfully, I didn't even like number 20 when I got to college. Coach Fox kind of he gave it to me and walked by my locker one day, the first day, and was like, you don't get to pick your numbers here, right? And I said, yes, sir. He goes, because I don't really care what your number is. I said, I'm just glad to be here, Coach. Thanks. And he was just real to the point on that. And I was just kind of like, all right, 20 it is, and stuck with me for a while. But yeah, I mean, Ash was 33. I just thought it would be really cool this year. Our first year being married, just kind of having her spirit in the uniform this year. So got number 33. So excited to rock it.
So when you show up, folks, and there's there is a 20. Ed Wagner's wearing 20 now. But when you look down there in the dugout and you see number 33, don't get confused. That's just Woody.
Got a great story leading us up to Valentine's Day, which is also opening day for you guys. Let's get down to business here. Let's talk about the team and talk about the lead up to the 2025 season. Got Northeastern coming in this weekend. 18 new players on the roster? Is that right? No, 28. Sorry, 28. Is that right?
Yeah.
28 new players on the roster. Give us a little overview of what you've seen over the spring scrimmages the past few weeks, and kind of what you're feeling is going into the weekend.
Well, it's been an extremely competitive group from the jump. It's every year when you bring in that many guys, for us, we don't really get concerned about how many it is because we put so much effort and thought into every single player that comes here. So even though it's a lot of new players, it's still each guy we got to know in the recruiting process, spend time with them, talk about each player's goals, aspirations, ambitions, those types of things. And, for us, it's just kind of we recruit a lot of players to bring in a class that size. And it's you just get a big group of guys that really share a vision, and you get them in there. And we've kind of felt that chemistry from the beginning. It's a bunch of guys who are here to get their degrees, certainly, but they're here to put numbers on the outfield wall. They're here to, get us back to the NCAA tournament in the discussion to host regionals and to kick down the door to go to the super regionals. I mean, you get into a 1 weekend playoff, anything can happen, and you can be one of those 8 teams to go to Omaha, just in my experience. And that's what these guys want. That's why they're here. And if they help us do those things, then they're going to have a chance to hear their name called professionally in the 20 rounds or sign as free agents and make a living, playing professional baseball. So those are the things we talk about on the front end. We've got a bunch of guys that aspire to do those things, and they've shown it from the beginning since our opening team meeting in August. And it's been very competitive. And we probably scrimmaged 20 times in the preseason, 25 times in the fall, and 10 times here in the preseason. And I just never felt like there was really any let up. It felt like every scrimmage and practice guys have brought it. And, it's been a really fun group.
Coach, we watched your comments from Media Day, and that was really really well done. Fun to see the guys talking about the upcoming season. But you made several references to the dynamic, the lion as opposed to the gazelle, et cetera. Could you talk about where that imagery is kind of coming from? Because I got in on a little bit of this, but I'd rather hear you explain it.
Yeah, it's just a mindset and a mentality. I think every year I just really try to kind of go on a search of what I feel like our program needs from the inside out. And I mean, there's all types of things out there, right? There's 23, it was chipping a chair. I don't know, and every year there's kind of like a different sort of what I feel like the team sort of needs. And just, I kind of came across a really awesome Ray Lewis video where for about 3-minute video where he just was talking to a team about the importance or the mentality of being the lion being the king of the jungle. The king of the jungle, he's not the biggest, the elephant is, he's not the fastest, the gazelle is, he's not the smartest, some other animal is. And so essentially, like if how does the lion get to be the king of the jungle if he's not the biggest, the fastest, or the strongest? And essentially it's just his mentality and not getting wrapped up in anything as far as, results matter, but not just focusing on the results, focusing on the things that want to lead us to the results. Like the result is, for the lion, it's the kill, right? But it's like the process is the hunt. And so it's just kind of having that mentality as a program where we're on the hunt every single day. And, when it's time to strike, we will. And when it's time to defend, we will. And, a pack of lions is always going to be stronger than the individual. So just those types of things. It's just really kind of nothing groundbreaking, I would say, but it's just been sort of a mindset that, gazelles are, they care about looking good and they need praise and they need to be rewarded. And it's just like, I don't know, our guys just don't get caught up in things that don't matter. And that's sort of how we want to be from start to finish this entire year. And I think that's a mindset that can play really well for this group of guys.
So, Coach, I think that's a great, so they don't get caught up in stuff like preseason polls that we were talking about earlier, right, Nick?
Yeah, we before you got on, we had a whole discussion about preseason polls.
In 21, we were picked next to last in the league. So, I don't know. It just, I don't recall any of those, I don't recall anybody that came up with a poll this preseason. I don't think they were at any of our scrimmages. So, but they weren't in previous years when we've been picked first or second. So
yeah,
again, those things don't matter.
Why don't you do a quick facility update? I know you got a new toy out there that you're excited about, and that's been one of the cool things. Is seems like every off season you've gotten some new toys, whether it was turf or scoreboard or what have you. But I know you got a new toy that you're excited about.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, from day one, I mean, Mike Hill, Chris Thomason, Darren Spees, the entire executive team has been committed to baseball growing and getting to the level where, we can host regionals here. And so a big part of that was getting our lights up to a standard where ESPN could broadcast, nationally televised events. We've got the capacity to expand seating. We've got some other things in the works in terms of locker room expansion and just other things going on that I'm really excited about. So yeah, I mean, to your point, in 21, 22, we got a new infield surface. 23, we upgraded our video board, and here in 25, we've got a whole new set of lights that, just alone as is, they're awesome when they're normal. And then, guys hit homers, they flash. And whenever we want to change colors for Niners win, turn them green, we can turn them green. So, yeah, we're just very committed to baseball here, and something that I'm certainly very grateful for. Our coaching staff's grateful for, and we just have that. We have that day one mindset. I mean, even just sitting here in 2025, I still have that same mindset when I got here in 2019 that, we're building and growing, and I'm just thankful that everyone's so committed, from the executive team on through our donors and fans and families supporting us.
Well, Coach, there's a lot of new players on the team, a lot of returning players that I'm excited about. We don't have enough time to talk about all of them, but I think a real cool story I'd like you to talk about is Chandler Riley. You had him on the roster back in 21, went to Campbell, Gaston College, came back this year as a graduate student. Talk a little bit about that, Chandler Riley, and his process from being here before, going elsewhere, and then coming back.
Yeah, I mean, Chandler might be one of the best stories on our roster. I mean, I remember exactly. I remember exactly where I was when I reached out to him to come back here. And I remember, just even before that, it was he was on a really talented 2021 team as a freshman, and we wanted to do right by him and maintain a year of his eligibility. That was Austin Knight and Jack Dragum and Nate Furman and David McCabe. I mean, you've just got professionals all over the infield, and we knew Chandler was a really good player and hard worker and great teammate. And, a lot of those guys were coming back in 2022. And so, just wanted to do right by him. And we had a great conversation when he left about how much we wanted him to stay, but he needed to go play. So as you mentioned, he went to Gaston College and tore it up with the Rhinos and did great. And, went to Campbell and had a great career there and helped those guys win a bunch of games. And, once he went in the transfer portal, the end of last season, I mean, it was like, as soon as I saw it, I sent him a text and just asked him if we could jump on the phone. And I'm very thankful that he wanted to, he took that phone call and wanted to come back because, truthfully, I would have loved to have had him his entire career here. But, it's just it's the nature of it, and everybody's got a different path and journey. And I think it's just such a great story because Chandler and his family are awesome people. They're Niners through and through. And he got to see the magic of the 2021 season and what that looks like. And so to bring that back into our locker room and into our program in 2025 and have a chance to really put an exclamation point on his college career is just really cool. So it's been awesome having him back. And I think it's going to be one of the best stories. Certainly one that, you hear a lot of negative things about the transfer portal and everybody jumps to negative conclusions when somebody transfers. But, Chandler is just a guy that we can point to and say, if it was so bad, then, why would he leave to come back? And I'm just really thankful he's gotten to come back, and he's going to put an exclamation point on his college career with us, and it's going to be awesome.
And you kind of contrast that, and they're both great stories, with a guy like Chandler who leaves and comes back. And then in this day and age, you've got the old man of the group in Dante DeFranco, who has just been around forever now. He's the senior veteran in the program, taking graduate courses. And he crushed it at a senior speech at the first pitch dinner the other week, by the way. It's just really cool to see good stories happening in multiple different ways.
Yeah, I mean, he's another one. He's been a part of the 2 of the 4 championship teams the last 4 years. He knows what it looks like. He knows what it takes. He's been a key contributor to all of them. And, he's just an absolute winner. And just, again, him and Chandler, to have them, I mean, to be in the opening team meeting in the fall of 2020 when they were freshmen, and we weren't even allowed to be inside in that meeting, by the way. Like, we had to be outside. And so we had desks spread out on the infield. We had a TV at home plate, a portable TV that rolled out to home plate so I could show the PowerPoint of like what we're about. I mean, I have a picture of it and everything. It's crazy, but we all remember those times and we don't need to revisit them. But I mean, that's how far back these guys go. And I couldn't be more excited to be in the dugout with them for one more ride.
Well, let's switch gears a little bit. We got opening weekend coming up at the Hayes. We got a very good Northeastern team coming in. I know you had taken a look at them, right? What do you have to say about Northeastern coming in with their program?
Yeah, I mean, I think they won 38 games last year. They've won, I think, like 36, 38 games each of the last 3 years. Mike Glavin is a heck of a coach. Coach Cobb, their pitching coach, has had, arms come through that program year after year. So I've known those guys through all the way back to my days at UNC Wilmington, to Virginia Tech, to UNC, to here, and me, I love playing really good teams who are well coached, and so to have those guys come down here, we're excited to play. I mean, they've got 5 or 6 returning everyday players who have hit around, hit above 300, and I think Alex Lane is the number 1 prospect in the entire CAA, and they've got just really good pitchers left and right on that pitching staff that are going to throw against us. So it'll be a great challenge. But you guys know me. We like to play really good teams, and they're certainly one of them.
Yeah, they're sneaky good. College baseball fans, people in college baseball, know about this program with what they've done for an extended period of time now. And just looking at some of the numbers, I mean, they run a crazy amount. So I think 162 bases last year, which, by the way, we mentioned this with Wheels, Kevin. Wofford stole a lot of bases last year too. So this entire first week of the season is kind of leading that direction. So that being the case, Woody, and I'm kind of setting you up to go in a particular direction here. With all the new faces, give us as many names as you want. Well, give us a handful of names of players that Niner Nation doesn't know their names yet, but they're going to know them real soon.
Well, I mean, just on the position player side, I think you got to start with Juan Rivera. We've already talked about Chandler, right? Mm-hmm. But I think you got to end Dante. But I think you got to start with Juan Rivera. He's just an absolute spark plug, grinder, ball player that, like, he might be one of the toughest outs we've had here. Can play multiple positions. He's really fast, can do a lot of things. So kind of start with him. Then moving on to like Logan Poteet behind the plate for us. One of our our number catcher transfer from Vanderbilt, who's really talented. I think he's been up to 87, 88 behind the plate, throwing down to second base, which is that's upper level MLB arm strength. Great blocker, receiver, leader. So played in Cape Cod. Also was the Appy League Player of the Year this past summer. So very talented winner, leader behind the plate for us. And then, really our other catcher, and both of these guys, Poteet and Gunnarsson, will both play first base and DH because they're two of our best hitters and first baseman and player and catchers. But Cody Gunnarsson is another catcher, really strong arm, great receiver, blocker. He's probably got some of the biggest power in our lineup, and he's just been really impressive in all facets. So certainly want to mention him. And then you go over shortstop, third base, right-handed pitcher, Division III National Player of the Year last year, Connor Mariniak. He can do it all. He's extremely talented, versatile player, leader, vocal guy. And, and I haven't even mentioned Carson Bain yet, who's preseason all conference, who's going to get the nod in center field for us. And I mean, he's another spark plug, just ball of energy that Niner fans are going to love watching play. He'll literally run through a wall on every single play to help us win. Right. And then we got Noah Furch back, who's, probably our leading returning hitter from last year. And then you mix in like Johnny Sutrick and, by the way, Dawson Bryce, who was the, his conference freshman of the year last year, hit 15 homers. And, he's going to play really good for, third base and first base and for us. So talked about Chandler and Dante and those guys. And I mean, again, Spencer Nolan, Blake Martin, Thad Ector. I'm leaving guys out. It's been a really fun position group. This
Kevin,
entire
did you notice
fall and
the
preseason.
pitching coach started off talking position players? It's almost like he's holding those pitching cards close to his vest.
Oh, I don't blame him. We're getting close to 2 days to opening day, and sometimes you want to hold stuff close to the vest, But Coach, sounds like you got a lot of depth and a lot from what we've seen in the fall and the spring. A lot of good depth on the position player side. You have a lot of options to go with, and multiple players play multiple positions. That has to be good, having versatile players going into the season.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't even mention Caleb Estes. I don't have the roster in front of him, but I mean, Caleb's been, a legit shortstop, first baseman, third baseman, right-handed hitter for us. So, and I haven't written out the lineup card yet, and you guys know how it goes. The first lineup isn't the same on day one, isn't the same lineup game 10, game 20, game 30. So, we really like the depth. We really like the versatility that guys can play multiple positions. Just for example, Gunnarsson and Poteet, they can both really catch and throw and play first base and DH. So we're excited about this position group for sure. On the mound, I mean, Northeastern already knows we've already shared rotation. So we're going game one will be Mike Sturma, who is a senior right-handed pitcher. He's been incredibly steady and performed really well from start to finish, fall and preseason. Just a really great story. For that veteran, getting the veteran opening day start. And then Blake Gillespie will be our game 2 starter, Georgia transfer. Extremely talented right-handed pitcher who has been probably the leader, heartbeat of our pitching staff, kind of the guy that people, our pitching staff looks to and says that's what it looks like, just from when he's on the mound, in the dugout, in the indoor weight room, getting his work in. Like he's had a tremendous impact just on really kind of what it's supposed to look like. So excited for him to start game 2, and our game 3 starter will be right-handed pitcher Andrew Cribbs, who, I mean, again, he's been our best performer in the fall and the preseason. So he's just really, I really love the look that he's had his last few outings. So we'll go 3 righties, all older guys who are veteran, who really know how to pitch and mix and compete.
Speaking of pitching, Coach, we do have a coaching staff update for this offseason. Coach Michael O had a great opportunity to go be a minor league pitching coach for the Cardinals organization. So you had a little change up on your staff. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, kind of an opportunity that was a no-brainer for him, and we're certainly going to miss him. He's one of our best friends, but he just did a tremendous job for us. Obviously, came here as a player, helped us win in 22 a lot of games. Then joined our staff in 23, helped us win Conference USA, and just really did a tremendous job for us and recruited a lot of these pitchers that are here. So he'll always be a big part of this program, but an opportunity with the Cardinals to. When Austin Miney, our former pitching coach, left the Baltimore Orioles as a pitching coach to go be the pitching coordinator for the Cardinals, which is incredible opportunity at such a young age for Austin. You know, it was just kind of a no-brainer opportunity for Mike to go and start his professional career on the coaching side. And, you know me, I love having young coaches in our program, especially guys who've been through it and they understand, you know, kind of the level of detail and the type of training that we like to have here. And there really it was kind of a no-brainer for us to elevate Cameron Hansen, who was on our pitching staff last year, but all fall he was a grad assistant coach in the weight room and with our pitchers in the fall, and just wanted to elevate him to our pitching coordinator, third assistant, somebody who has just done an incredible job making sure that with Coach O's departure that we haven't missed a beat.
All right, so if you're not ready for if you weren't already ready for opening weekend, you better be now. We've run out of time here. We've talked to Patrick Wheeler. We've talked to Coach Woody. We've talked about how useless preseason polls are. I mean, that pretty much covers it. All that's really left to tell you is that the game times for this weekend at the Hayes are 4 o'clock on Friday, 2 o'clock on Saturday, and 1 o'clock on Sunday. And Coach Woody has assured me that it never rains on opening weekend. And so I don't know how he's going to work this out, but don't you worry a thing about that weather, folks. It's just going to work itself out some way, somehow. But Friday looks great right now. So make plans to get off work early on Friday. And I mean, it's Valentine's Day. Bring your sweetheart to the Hayes. And, you know, if you don't have a significant other that can't appreciate going to the Hayes on Valentine's Day, you probably need to reevaluate your relationship goals anyway. That's what I say. So, all right, boys, we are so back. I can't even. It's palpable. I'm just jacked up. Let's get this thing started. Okay. All right, folks. If you want to see this, if you're not already seeing this, while you're on YouTube, subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications. That's a great way to find out whenever we release new content. If you're checking us out on Spotify, do the same thing. Follow us on Spotify and turn on notifications. Social media, Diamond Niner Report, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, never TikTok. Excited to see you folks out at the Hayes, okay? This has been Nick, for Kevin, for producer Brad. Appreciate Coach Woody. Appreciate Patrick Wheeler stopping by. We're going to see you really, really soon at the Hayes. Go Niners.